A narcissistic sister will try to steal your identity and will also try to become friends with all of your friends and even your exes, or they deny certain things and spread lies. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones, and I want to do a continuation on my previous post about evil, mean, narcissistic sisters who can be your biggest bullies. Again, they try to take credit for everything and pretend that they came up with the idea again, and that could be your whole identity, that could be your look, that could be your lifestyle, and all the while they again try to absorb and compete with you for your look or something about you that they envy. They're going to take credit for it as though they came up with a whole entire thing, and they don't give credit to you. They don't say inspired by. They don't even acknowledge you, and again, they're quick to put you down in front of everyone else. And because there, a lot of narcissistic women, including sisters, are very male-centered. They will definitely, try to stay connected with your ex-boyfriends, including if your boyfriends or exes or partners were abusive to you. They seem to dismiss any sort of abuse that you went through. They seem to dismiss the importance of the relationship, and they're very quick to tell you that, hey, I can be friends with whoever I want to. I'm an adult. I'm in charge of my own life. You can't tell me who I can and can't be friends with. They will also try to sleep with your ex. They will give your exes money, anything that they can do to chase the validation of that man and put you down. They will be the first person to betray you. After all, who needs enemies when you have sisters like this? And again, because they're so interested in chasing validation outside, publicly, the world thinks they are the nicest girl, the nicest woman. She appears to be well put together. They don't know who she is behind closed doors, and that includes with your friends. So they are not above trying to weasel their way in to your friendships and forming their own friendship alliances with your friends and turning your friends against you. And it's, when you confront them about it, it's like, once again, there is that whole, I can be friends with whoever I want to be with. You don't control me. You know how that whole spiel goes. And they're going to deny. Well, they came to me, and, I'm just so likable, and you're not. You're just jealous of me. And so they're quick to sort of turn it around on you, but they're never, ever, ever going to own up to, they're never going to own up to, how they're behaving. They're never going to own up and take accountability for their way of betraying you. And they're always going to feel like they're justified. And women, and I think even women, can even do this more so than men. They are quick to try to, corral up other people to sort of have their back, and also, confront you and tell you, oh, she can be friends with whoever she wants to be with. Oh, your ex is just a nice person. They're just, they're this kind person with all this, they've got such a charitable heart, and they're so likable. Why wouldn't, you don't control everybody, and you're just insecure and this and that and the other. The narcissistic sister is evil. They're vile. They are mean. And to your face, and in front of the public, they're going to be nice. They're going to pretend like they're your biggest cheerleader and they want the best for you. But behind closed doors, they're vicious. They attack, they deny, they turn other people against you. And if your sister is married or has a partnership of her own, or even has friends of her own, she will be so disrespectful and vile towards you in front of her fan club that her fan club will also start to feel comfortable with being disrespectful and talking down to you and being condescending as well. And she will condone that. So I, always whenever someone feels comfortable talking down to you and their connection is through someone who's connected to you, it's because that person is talking about you. And the narcissistic sister is no exception to this. And again, they love even, the biggest people, the biggest relationship that they want to try and take control of and turn against you is usually almost always other siblings and or your parents, but everybody else will do too. She's in constant competition. The narcissistic sister, think of the narcissistic sister kind of like that woman, when there was a video post about the two girls running track and that one girl got hit in the back and was, saying all this other stuff by the other girl. The other girl was saying all this other stuff, trying to deny it, but meanwhile she sneak dissed and attacked. Think of the narcissistic sister in very much the same manner. And again, they're very well put together, but they're very bitter, they're very unhappy, they're very resentful. And a lot of them are also going, because they chase validation so much, they're often getting lied to, they're getting cheated on, they're getting disrespected in their relationships. They're never going to say that, but who's truly happy if they're always turning around, looking at you, being hypercritical of your relationship, worrying about what you're doing? It's because they're not truly happy. It's because they're going through hell behind closed doors, and they're never going to tell you that. They're going to dress it up and make it pretty and put a bow on it, but trust and believe they're never really happy. But they're so invested in chasing a relationship, chasing a validation. They're usually going through the ringer behind closed doors. They're very vain about their looks, and they're hypercritical of your looks. And again, remember, women can definitely, especially narcissistic women, could definitely tear you down. But that's often how they find themselves aligning with your friends, and trying to weasel in with your friends and your exes. They're using their looks, they're woeing with gifts, they're woeing with money and things like that, and they are not sorry. And there's a high likelihood, if you have a narcissistic sister, there is something which you probably may not even know about. There may be many somethings that she's pissed off with you about, and she feels like like she deserves to get revenge against you, like she deserves to pay you back for something. And I say that because most of the women like this are using this internal justification to betray you, which is why also too, a lot of them may appear to be guilty after they've done something. They may try to get into an altercation with you or do something with you, because again, they look for that internal justification to continue doing you wrong. And a lot of times they'll even get that approval from your parents and things like that. But I guarantee you, if you have a narcissistic sister, she hits below the belt, and she probably is stewing every time your name comes up or there's any mention of you, and thinking that there's something which you may not even have an idea about that she owes, that she deserves to get revenge against you for, and you make her live it. And you don't even have to do anything. You can just exist. These women are mean